everyone, welcome to Long Arm Wednesday. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. We're working on my Blue Scrappy Quilt, the one we did on a few live streams, so check it out if you're interested in doing it or want to watch the videos. So as I did a light to dark variation of the colors that I chose of my cutting my blues, so we're onto the dark side, not literally, but just a little bit over here. And I filled each row with a nice little pattern. So hopefully you can kind of get it on the small camera. I'll go a little slow so you can kind of see a little of how it's stitched out. It's got like a little, it actually says Sweetheart Wildflower Sash, but it's got that little curve and a little loop. It kind of reminded me of Waters and Waves. So go with that, right? So I meant to actually leave one empty so we could show you, but I got too excited and filled it all in. So we'll have to show you how I'm doing the sashing. Sometimes when you get in the groove, baby, you get in the groove. Okay, so yeah, it looks really, really nice. I love how it turned out. I'm trying to see, show you can see some on the darker ones where the thread is really just popping out. I don't want to make you ill boy with the small camera, but check it out. And it looks really, really cool. And like I said, just really love how it turned out. So what we're going to do is do a little movement in this bigger sashing, and I've just stitched in the ditch onto the smaller sashing. And that's how I'm just going to finish it off so you can see it. I'm not doing anything on the outer border. I like a nice, this is quilted for me. And so I like a nice soft non-quilted border, and I'm not touching it at all. I'm just going to put the binding on. That's it. And I have a bamboo silk sheet for the backing, and a little story behind that. I've saved this sheet for well over a year because it was going to be the back to my quilt. I made a boo-boo on a boat sheet that I had to make. I didn't allow for the gusset of the sheet, and anyways, or gusset of the mattress. So I ended up having to buy this sheet for $50. So I was saving the sheet for my quilt, and that's what it is. So it's a bit on an angle on this side, so if you come to see it there, don't worry about it. It's just the way the sheet was supposed to be made, so, except not as long as it should have been. Lesson learned. Life is full of lessons. All right, so what we're going to do is just add, it's not I guess some call it ribbon candy, but I'm not going that close. So I'm just kind of doing like a little bubble and then a bubble, not bubble, but you know, you'll see it. It's a fun and easy movement. And I do have my ruler plate on. And I was stitching in the ditch on this one too, once I had it all finished. And of course you can come closer, which gives you that ribbon, or you can overlap, which gives you the wishbone. I mean, it's completely up to you. I like it just as a little bit of movement open from each other, because, you know, and the wash and the wear of this quilt is gonna, you know, all that stuff is gonna be all puffing. And as you can tell, I had a little bit of puckering in some sections. I wasn't really too concerned about it. It's done. It's beautiful. I love it. After a few washes, nobody's going to give two hoodles. So, including me. And just put her away. Filling it in. I'm trying not to go right to the edge. You know, if I happen to go right to the edge once or twice, I'm not really too concerned about it. I'm not going to go rip those stitches out. If I went straight into that, the colored fabric, the blue fabric, I'd probably take those stitches out, you know. Just try and stay within the white. And it is not perfectly square. With some of our tweaking and twiddling of the fabrics, we got a little out of square, but I don't care. It's only a little bit. Just move along. Fortunately, I'm going to have to get Sophie to move because she's napping on her bed right by my foot. Just stop there. Sorry, Poppy, gotta go. Just move your bed a little bit. Stay on it. Stay. You're good. You're good. No. She want me moving her with. Scoot, scoot, scoot. She's like, is it snack time? Come on, scoot, scoot. Scoot. Okay. She's right back on her bed. She's so cute. Love my Lofi. Mr. Clive, not so much lately. It's been very much a yappy cat at 3 and 5 in the morning. And hopefully you can see a bit of the pattern that Walt had stitched out in each line. And I did the curves, like it's because I was trying to choose or separate each of the, you know, these rows, like these were the two that were supposed to be together sort of thing in my mind, you know. So I did the waves or the pattern and that, and then I just flipped it so it was the opposite on the other side. Okay. And then go right down into that corner and do a couple little tack stitches. My favorite fabric. Actually, there's quite a few favorites in here. And I only saw one other boo-boo, and that's, I had two of the same fabrics in the same row with two pieces from each other. How I missed that, I don't know, until it was already getting quilted. I don't care. I'm not going to change it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch in the ditch in the same place, and then we're going to stitch in the ditch up here, okay? Just to keep it all together. You know what I mean, jelly bean? And I have, like I said, got my ruler plate here, and it's got this cute little oval. It says 3 by 6. It's easy to fit in my hand and slides along. And of course, the ruler plate helps stabilize it, right? So you're not all over the place. And some long arms do like to go left to right better than right to left. So I can go a little bit faster left to right than I can go from right to left. So I'm going to go across Walt up at the top, or up here up at the top with Walt. Okay, and see how I'm coming just on the white side. I don't want to have any of my white stitches hanging out on my blue fabric, if I can prevent it. If I get 3 or 4 in there, I'm not gonna, you know, cry. But the point is not to be stitching in the blue, it's to be stitching in the white. Okay. And just move along slowly. Take your time. Shift. Oh, a little bit of a fold there. That's okay. Actually, I was chatting last week with my friend Jo Marie, and she actually gave me a good tip. Like next time, maybe when I go and rip all those borders out, those little tiny borders out, maybe just start off fresh with new strips of fabric, you know, instead of having them get a little bit pulled apart and a little wonky and stuff like that. You know, and I'm kind of kicking myself now for not doing that, but I know for my next project I will do that if it happens to come that way. You know, I hadn't thought about it until I was already pinning it, you know, via the live streams and stuff like that. And I probably just could have done a new fresh row, and it would have been, you know, nothing would have been tweaked or stretched or anything like that. So if you have enough, I mean, we were working with a scrappy base going on here, so we had lots to choose from, right? I could have pulled out more blues. See, this is where I go a little bit slower, because like I said, sometimes you can see the little vibration. If you go a little bit too fast, it's a little, get little dancing moves on there. And just butt it up against it. So like I say, you're just trying to write it in the white. Right there is another bit of my favorite fabric with the pianos on it. Every time I see it, I think of Pop's aunt. She's so musically talented. And Pop's sister, she's also very musically talented. Must run in the family. Just putter along. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. And then I'm just doing the same thing, but not with the stitch filler movement, but with the stitching in the ditch on the smaller sashing as well, okay? So we'll go up and do the other big one. And you can see this is almost done, this whole quilt. I worked really hard. Oop, I had a bobbin. Oh, they overlapped over each other there. Oh, that was a little weird. Hold on here. Okay. Well, the stitches are there, but for some reason it kind of got looped up. Try to pull the bobbin up, make sure we don't get any messes, because we don't want no messes. I know it was kind of weird I chose green for my backing, but it's such a light green, it's almost like a seafoam green, and kind of going with the blue ocean waves sort of quilt going on here. Or blue ocean arrows, I don't know, I haven't quite sure what to call it yet. Just putter along. Okay, and then in the corner, put some lock-in stitches. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same little wavy movement up in the bigger border. We can clean up all these threads here. It's all pretty like. Put them off to the side. Okay, so do the little wave up here. And you can see, and that's the last one I have to do is this one right here. I just have this, you know, stitch in the ditch in this one, and then after this, stitch in there, and then stitch in there, and it is ready to come off. At least to my knowledge. Because you always got to do the once overs, you know. And I thought about doing tiny little waves in the white, little tiny white sashing, and I thought, you know what, I think I like just stitching the ditch. On the back, it's going to add a little bit of, you know, definition. So, and I'm very excited to look at the back, actually. So, and get it all bound up and ready for me to sleep under. Very excited. I haven't had a new quilt in about 15 years, so it's nice to be able to use some of my scraps and my projects in that time, even some that I've kept on and held on for a while, and new ones that have been given to me. So I feel very, very blessed. And I appreciate everybody watching. If you watched this whole quilt come together, I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate your likes and subscribes, and check us out on Patreon. Usually get a day or two advance on the videos if you sign up for Patreon. Usually, we try to. We try our very best. Plus you get a bonus video and all that sort of fun stuff. Just try and keep your consistent movements. Just filling in that space. It's almost mesmerizing. Almost there. Love all the blues. So pretty. And even though it's got lots of flowers and flowery textures and, you know, pops of color here and there, it still looks very masculine as well as feminine. You know what I mean? It could go either way. So if I were to give this away to somebody, I'm sure they'd be quite pleased with it. But it's not. It's going to me. I put that sheet on the bottom. It's mine. And then right into the corner. And I guess at this point I could probably just backtrack and then go up and around. It doesn't really matter. So we'll call it there as a video, but let me just do a little tack stitch here and see if we can get a little bit so you can see the back. Sorry about that. Always busy around here. Guests and selling chocolates to raise for their playground. So awesome. So here's how it kind of turned out. This part here, and I'm just going to do a quick little zip so you can see what the back looks like. So I just have a little bit more work to do, but I really want to see the back. Okay, now, see if I can do like a little, there we go. Maybe Pop can get in on that. Oh, that looks lovely. I'm quite pleased. Quite pleased. So I just have a little bit more to finish and then it's all D-O-N-E. Thanks everybody for watching and subscribing and liking the videos and sharing them. We really appreciate it here at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we just want to help people learn their machine and have fun. Have fun doing an awesome craft, okay? So take care, enjoy your Wednesday, and we'll see you on the weekend project, everybody. Bye-bye.